for that.
You know, yesterday, Matt, we saw all these people in the game of golf and even beyond reacting to seeing the women and the way that they performed yesterday. But Jack Nicklaus is invested in this.
Yeah, he just responded a few minutes ago, and I'm pulling it up on my phone. And he says, between the inaugural Augusta National Women's Amateur, today's drive, chip, and putt, future of the game shines brightly. Barbara and I can't wait to watch 80 boys and girls compete on golf's grandest stage in the national finals today at 8 a.m. Eastern on Golf Channel. That was from Jack Nicklaus himself.
You know, I'm just always so impressed with how these kids handle that moment, the silence, you know, that's the pressure moment. You feel it every time you watch a golf tournament. No matter how good the player is, there's always that uncertainty. Is he going to do it? And the kids they're poised and flawless, almost inspiring, really, because, you know, I fail so often in that moment, and they just seem immune to it. It's really very little, you know, sort of shakiness, a lot of surety.
And the authenticity of their exuberance, particularly when they get on that 18th green and they have an opportunity to make that putt. We've seen it from year one. It's now in year 6. And also the exchanges they have with their parents, who have been there with them, supporting them along the way. And the man who's going to lead our coverage as we send it out. It's his first opportunity. He's called everything, but this is a special one as we send it out to Mike Tirico.
Hey, Gary, for all of us, it is a big thrill to say the least. And Peter, this is where it gets started. I know our coverage will begin in earnest coming up at the top of the hour, but we get started with the oldest boys group, the 14 to 15-year-old boys on the driving grid. So they've got that first tee pressure because they're leading everybody off.
And they're pretty serious. That's the one thing we've noticed when they get started, the older boys, when they get going, they're pretty serious because they're thinking about maybe playing college golf. They're in high school, they're playing golf. And it's fun because last night we get to talk a little instruction, a little theory, a little grip pressure, a little backswing. But as we move into the younger kids, it's all about passion and having fun.
And there are 10 in each group. We'll go through all the specifics to remind you about how the drive, chip, and putt is worked through year in, year out, I should say. But we start with the boys in the age group 14 to 15. There are 10 of them from 10 different regions around the country. And Alex Caesar will be the one to get everything going. He was the young man you saw there in the blue from Carmel, Indiana. But we've all cities represented, all regions of the United States as well. That's the exciting part of drive, chip, and putt. Truly is a national competition. And this young man from Westfield, Indiana, will get things going here this morning. Those nerves of the first tee always will get to even the most seasoned, experienced player. But for Alec, he gets to start his 79 peers out here today and get an opportunity to begin the national finals of the drive, chip, and putt.
Drive portion of the competition. First to play from Westfield, Indiana, Alex Caesar.
That's also cool for Alex, Alec, I should say, because he's tried to qualify in past years. He watched the national finals on TV last year, was motivated to get here, keep that grip dry with the towel on this bit of a damp, overcast morning, and ready to go. Frank Novelo's watching with us.
Okay, here it is. A couple of practice swings. Been playing golf for 11 years. He's also a point guard. So now's the time to score. 40 yards of fairway. That's the width, of course. Takes a nice big cut at it.
What a start.
Hey, Jake, is this any indication?
Well, as we said earlier, these players have got more instruction, and they are really, really good.
And good composure, too, with the rain and the moisture. Just go to drive the grip there. Bellerive Country Club is where his regional qualifier, the last of the 3 stages to get here. A fan of Cooch and Ricky and Paula Kramer. Here's a look at the drive again.
Trace the shot. Look at that, right down the middle, a little bit of a draw. Forget we had the rain this morning, so you're not going to see a lot of run because of the of the wet conditions. Look at the turn, though, the shoulder turn. His head is still, and watch the rotation with his lower body. That is a beautiful action.
And so one, as Frank mentioned, on that 40-yard wide grid, and he'll get a second opportunity now. Nerves gone a little bit. Just have at it. Again, the first of the three disciplines. They'll go chip and putt after the 10 go through the driving.
Just pick the tee straight out of the ground.
Excellent. That passed on the right side there. And pretty good. That first one looked to be the one that will count for Alec, but exhale, deep breath, worked so hard, inspired by not making it here last year, watched and made it, and made a great impression to begin the 6th National Finals of Drive, Chip, and Putt.
His father, Jeff, who introduced him to the game, is here as his chaperone. Here. Improvement right there, 222.
You got it. So we'll get number 2 and a hug from Dad as well. You'll see different color golf shirts for the boys and girls competing today. They correspond with the region of the country, the 10 regions to qualify. So these shirts will be those from the East region. So if you're on the East Coast waking up with this morning, you see these green shirts. Maybe some neighbors here, like Nathan Drogan. He is from Essex Fells, New Jersey, just outside of New York.
He's got some speed.
Wow. That is almost in line with the 5 right in the middle there on the way out. Terrific placement. I mentioned the national finals in all the regions. Pick out a color and you'll have a rooting interest as you watch with us this morning from the West, the upper Midwest, and down the South Central, the Southeast, where so many of these youngsters play year-round. And I'm fond of the folks from the Northwest and the East and the Central area because it is not golf season yet, just starting to get out on the golf courses. So for many of those who live in colder climes, Peter, they've had to figure out their preparation here, simulators, indoors, somehow, some way, get ready to be here.
Nathan's mother, Shani, she's a PGA of America professional. She's here as his chaperone, but also introduced him to the game and obviously works a lot with him because look at that beautiful action. And he does have some speed.
Yeah, down that right side. So this 9th grader at the Newark Academy in Livingston, New Jersey, with 2 very impressive drives, Peter.
Now, again, take a look at the turn back. I think one of the key fundamentals for everybody watching is to keep your head still in the backswing because it's easier to make fast rotation when you've got a steady head.
Little hint, mom and dads at home, if you're watching, if you have a kid who you'd love to get started in the game, bring him by the TV for the next few hours. This will inspire them to become terrific golfers. A lot more ahead, Gary. We'll see you at the top of the hour.
Mike, looking forward to it. Great representation from the great state of New Jersey right off the top. These kids, they get through these regional qualifying sites for the opportunity to compete at Augusta National Golf Club to begin a very special Masters week. We come back on Morning Drive after this.